Hey guys, welcome back to another unpopular opinions video. Before I jump right into things, I want to let you guys know that 93% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed to me. So why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, seeing as how you're enjoying my content anyways. It really helps me out. Well anyways, let's get into the video. By the time this video comes out, I'm sure you're all going to be playing and enjoying Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This game has had a little bit of controversy upon its announcement. A lot of people were a bit upset that it's just ports of the originals. The price point of being $60, no Galaxy 2, it being a limited release, and much more. But you want to know what else upsets people? Unpopular opinions on Mario games. Let's start off this list with the first and arguably the most popular game in the bundle, Super Mario 64. I'm personally glad that it's just a port of the original. Well, I mean, not exactly the original, but not a remake or a remaster. I say that because this version of the port is called Super Mario 64 Shindu version, which means it's just an updated version of the game that patches out a lot of glitches, most notably the BLJ, or backwards long jump. This glitch was utilized by many speedrunners who helped the game gain its popularity that it has today. Myself and many others are fairly disappointed that this is the Shindu version of the game. But I'm honestly just happy that it's not a remake or a remaster. Why might you ask? Well, this brings me into my next point. The last time Nintendo remade Mario 64, it was not good. Yes, Mario 64 for the DS was a bad remake. Now, hear me out. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute and give credit where credit is deserved. The extra content added to the levels was pretty cool. Extra boss fights was an amazing touch. The updated graphics, I guess, were nice, but they randomly changed weird textures when changing the graphics. Like, the blocks that push you off in Womp's Fortress don't have the eyes anymore, for a quick example. But some of the other changes were really good, like the Thwomp and Pokey redesigns. All of those things were really good for a remake, sure, but what about the things that they did wrong? Well, let's start this off with the beginning of the game. You see everyone jump out. Mario, Wario, Luigi, and they all run off to the castle. And then Yoshi is just chilling, sleeping. Soon after you find out that you're starting the game off as Yoshi and not Mario. That's a really weird change. Is this like Yoshi 64 or something? Because it seems like Mario is no longer the star of this game. And I say that because you play as Yoshi for the majority of the game. The reason being is because of this new change they added to the game. These shape-shifting hats allow Yoshi to transform into Mario, Luigi, and Wario. But the most weird part about this is after you change into them, Yoshi's sound effects are still happening whenever you jump. It's weird to hear that while playing as Mario, but you're playing as Yoshi that's a Mario, but it's still hearing Yoshi's sound effect. Yeah, it's confusing and weird, guys. I know. I'm not the biggest fan of it either. But aside from this game being Yoshi 64 and not Mario 64, the start to the game is different as well. Instead of running up to the castle and jumping right into things, Yoshi has to catch this rabbit in order to grab a key to get inside of the castle. Again, it was really weird and not really needed in my opinion. However, these new characters, it's almost like a dream come true for some Super Mario 64 fans. We speculated so much that Luigi was playable in Mario 64. I mean, everybody knows about the L is real rumor. So, finally being able to play as him in the remake was amazing. But you want to know what's not amazing? Having the power-ups locked behind certain characters. Only Mario can fly, only Wario can turn metal, and only Luigi can turn invisible. I would have really loved to play as Metal Mario again, because it's super frustrating when you go to a level searching for a star, let's say the 8 red coins in Cool Mountains, only for you to find out that you've collected all 7 coins and the last one is frozen and you have to redo the whole level because you didn't choose the right character when you started the level. Locking the 3 main power-ups to each of the characters was pretty lame. However, I can kind of understand why. It gives each of the characters some more diversity and a reason to play each character. I just wish it wasn't forced. But aside from returning power-ups, they did add a few new ones, most notably the Balloon Mario power-up from Super Mario World, the Mega Mushroom from Super Mario Bros., which were both interesting, yet great additions to the game. Another quick and small point was that they made the game a lot easier, and I can understand why. It's to appeal to the casual audience. but I feel like sometimes they made it a little too easy. One change that they made that I thought was pretty good was how they went about the red coins. If you can't find all the red coins in a map, you can usually talk to a bomb-on buddy, and they will help you find the last coin that you're missing. But what I didn't like is how the bottom screen tells you where just about every star is, so there's no real reason to explore the map. And another weird example is in Whomp's Fortress, where the ground slides out, there's now a platform to catch you instead of just dying. There's many more examples of this too, like in Hazy Maze Cave, how they added bridges where that bottomless hole is. But lastly, the worst part about this remake that I think everyone can agree upon is the controls. Yes, this is a 3D Mario game, not a 2D Mario game, a 3D Mario game. Why are we using a directional pad with 4 direction inputs for a 3D game? Oh, but you can control the characters with the touchscreen. That's completely inaccurate 90% of the time, even after calibrating. Oh, but wait, it's 2020, that's right, I forgot. We can just play it on a 3DS, that should fix the problem, right? No, not really. I mean, sure, using the circle pad is a little bit better, but it's simply just not as precise as the Nintendo 64 version, which is very weird because the N64 analog stick isn't that precise either, but it felt way more precise than the circle pad, and having to press a button to run is a bit wild to me. Like, in the 64 version of the game, you should just be able to push the analog stick all the way forward to run, and if you wanted to walk, you just push it only like halfway. But I mean, most of this game, you're not going to be walking anyways. You're going to be running around, jumping, collecting coins, whatever. The only time you'd really want a small or a walking animation is in a tight or a small pathway, and that doesn't really happen that often in this game. So yeah, long story short, the extra characters and areas to explore are super cool. The camera is slightly better. The new power-ups are interesting. However, the controls are dog shit in this game, even with the 3DS's circle pad. The game's a little bit easier. Locking stars and power-ups behind characters is really lame. And lastly, this game is actually Yoshi 64 instead of Mario 64. The amount of changes felt odd and weird to me personally, but maybe that's just because I grew up playing Mario 64. So maybe it's just the nostalgia factor kicking in. But that's also the reason why I'm glad Mario 64 DS or another Mario 64 remake is not coming to the Switch in the All-Stars collection. But what about the next game in the series? Mario Sunshine. Well, let's jump right into that. I feel like it's very important for me to come out and say this, but yeah, I never grew up with Mario Sunshine. I don't have nostalgia for this game. I know many of you do, but I don't. My nostalgia Mario game is Mario 64, so take that however you want. Mario Sunshine is a very weird and different game. I think we can all agree upon that, right? Like, I don't know. This game just does not feel like a Mario game to me. I mean, sure, you can do your traditional save Peach, Bowser's the bad guy, you run, jump, collect coins and stars. But this time, you're doing it with a hose, and that's what's throwing me off about this game. Flood is super weird to me. It's pretty much like a water gun you can shoot enemies with. You can do a little hover thing with it, and as the game progresses, you can unlock other upgrades for it. Other than Flood, the other things that are throwing me off is the characters, you're stomping on Goombas and Koopas. You're helping out Pinatas, I think is how it's pronounced, spraying down Cataquacks, and stomping Strolling Stew. And can we talk about the final boss real quick? I mean, spoilers for an almost 20-year-old game, but you're literally fighting Bowser in his freaking bathtub. You climb up this epic volcano just to fight him while the man's taking a bath. And lastly, the voice acting. Can we just not? It's so weird having voice acting in a Mario game. This game really feels like a fever dream to me, but a good one. As weird And odd and different as this game is, it's still a really good Mario game that I enjoyed. I mean, not as much as the others, but it doesn't really feel like Mario to me. It's still a good game, and I'm glad it made the cut. I wonder if anyone else feels the same as me. But let's talk about games that didn't make the cut. Let's talk about Super Mario Galaxy 2 and why that didn't make the cut. I'm going to throw this out here real quick. Yes, I'm sad Galaxy 2 is not in this collection either. And I honestly have no idea why they cut it out either. It was a good game for what it was. But honestly, Galaxy 1 was a lot better than Galaxy 2. Aside from Yoshi, I love him, and he was a great addition to Galaxy 2. But other than that, Galaxy 1 was far better than Galaxy 2. Let's talk about the biggest change. Galaxy 1 had a unique hub world. Honestly, this hub world reminded me a lot of Peach's Castle from Mario 64. There's hidden 1-ups everywhere, there's hidden secrets, and places that you can't get to yet that are unlocked, and you gotta do a certain boss fight to unlock the certain sections, so on and so forth. But Mario Galaxy 2, it had Mario's face. Why? Seriously, why? You can take this amazing hub world and downgrade it to Mario's face. But that's not the worst part. Galaxy 2 had a level select where you would collect maybe like 2 or 3 stars, whereas Galaxy 1 actually had worlds where you would collect like 6 or 7 stars per world, or I guess it's called galaxies. I don't know, it's going to be very confusing to go between galaxies and worlds. Galaxy 2 just felt way linear, and I mean, don't get me wrong, both games are pretty linear, but Galaxy 2 felt like the galaxies were a bit smaller, no real room for exploration, whereas Galaxy 1, they felt like they were bigger galaxies, and at least a little bit of room for exploration, which in turn made Galaxy's 1 levels just feel a little bit better in my opinion. Aside from that one remake level in Galaxy 2, Whomp's Fortress, that was sick. But again, it was only like a star or two. Cool throwback though. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed Galaxy 1 a lot more than Galaxy 2. I felt like the worlds or levels were better, the hub world was better, and it was just overall a better game than Galaxy 2. If I was Nintendo and I had to pick between Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2, I would choose Galaxy 1 any day. Galaxy 2 felt like it should have just been DLC for Galaxy 1, which, who knows? I mean, they might do that, or they might add it all into Galaxy 1 or something. Yeah, I don't know, man. I doubt it, but I think it would be really cool. Either way, I'm not sure where they left it out. I'm hoping they do some sort of DLC or something to bring it to the collection, but you never know. But even without Galaxy 2, the price point of $60 is still completely worth it, in my opinion. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the $60 price tag. Why? Why would I pay $60 for 3 games that are simply just ported over? I can emulate them for free, or I can just play my original copies. I mean, look at the Crash and Spyro remake. They were both $40. So why am I paying $60 when other companies are making games for cheaper? Well, to be fair, that's a very good point. I would love to have these 3 Mario games remade just like how they did with Crash and Spyro, but here's the difference. If I wanted to go out and buy each of the original Crash games, it would cost me about $30. And the same goes for Spyro. Now, if I want to go out and buy Mario 64, it's almost $40 for just that one game. And what about Sunshine? It's about $50 for just the disc alone. That doesn't include the case and manual. And Galaxy 1 alone is about $10 as well. That's about $100 to play all of these games. And that's let alone if I even have the systems to play them on. And that's why I'm okay with spending the $60. That's about $20 per game versus the $50 for just Mario Sunshine. I don't know about you, but I would rather spend $60 over $100. And here's another way to look at it. The $60 price point is only an investment, at least for the physical version of the game. The price on this collection is going to skyrocket. Don't believe me? Let's look at some of the evidence. first point is it's a limited release only. They're only going to be selling this game retail for a year. After that, it's gone. People who slept on this collection and didn't buy it in this 1 year time period are going to eventually want it and get it and play it. The second point, most stores are already sold out of pre-orders. The third point is that people on eBay are already selling this game for $100 before it's even out. Imagine what the price is going to be in 5 years, or 10 years, or hell, even 20 years. If the price has grown before the game is even out, it will most definitely grow in the next 20 years. Video games in general have skyrocketed the past few years, especially Nintendo games. I remember just like a year or two ago, I bought Pokemon Black and White 1 and 2 off of GameStop for like $50. Both of them. Now they're both $50 a piece. This is 3 great Mario games. Mostly everybody loves Mario games, especially the 3D games. The 3D games, in my opinion, are way better than the 2D games. This game will skyrocket in price just like most other Nintendo games. Apparently the game has leaked online a couple days early before the official release, and people are complaining and making Twitter threads about the frame rate in some of these games. They're saying that the frame rate is unacceptable for a Switch game, as frames are dropping in Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. Now, let's think about this for a second. First off, frame rate drops were really bad in the original releases of these games. Let's take Super Mario 64 for example. Speedrunners have to manipulate the camera in certain sections of the game in order to reduce lag and frame rate drops. It was always in the original games. But GameXplain actually did a comparison on this, and they did it side by side and said, yes, there are frame drops in the Switch versions of these games, and yes, there are frame drops in the original versions of these games, but the frame drops in the original versions of the game are way worse than they are in this new 3D All-Stars collection. So what are you guys really complaining about? Yeah, the frame rate drops a little bit here and there, but why does it matter if the frames drop a little bit? Man, you're playing a single player game. The only way that I can see why it would actually matter is if you're speedrunning these games. Other than that, there's no real reason to complain about frame drops in games. I've been playing Sekiro on my PS4 and I've had frame drops here and there when things get a little too hectic. Does it ruin my experience? Not at all. And not one bit. Frame drops don't mean anything. I don't understand why people complain about frame drops. But my thing is, why are you complaining about frame drops when the frame drops were in the original games too? I don't know. I feel like people will just find the littlest things to nitpick about games to complain about. Either way, it's not a big deal that there's a frame drops. I understand, like, it's the modern day and age where it should be, everything should be clocked in 60 frames per second no matter what the heck you're doing, how many enemies are on the screen, whatever. Man, whatever. I don't care about frame drops. It doesn't matter. It doesn't ruin the experience at all for me. Again, like I said, the only way that I can see that this could ruin somebody's experience is if you're speedrunning the game. But even then, there's tricks to play around it. There's camera manipulations. There's ways to play around it. It's not a big deal. Quit complaining about frame drops. It is what it is. And even GameXplain said that it actually runs a lot better on the Switch version. There's a lot less frame drops on the Switch version than there is on the original versions. But that's about all I got for you guys in today's video. Is this collection really worth $60? Will the price really change that much in 20 years? Is Mario DS really better than Mario 64? Let me know what you guys think down below. With that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day today.